And the statements from the United Kingdom, from Canada, from France, the declarations that were made on the weekend that included Italy and Germany, our neighbours in this region, 147 countries around the world already recognise Palestine. What you will see in September is a number of other like-minded countries with Australia make this recognition going forward.
Just
but
finally,
it's about peace and security for both Israel and Palestine.
Just finally, Amal Naser was on our show earlier from the Palestine Action Group. She says this is just about appeasing internal factions in the Labor Party. This is what she said on our show.
Genocide.
So you think it's domestic politics that's led Anthony Albanese to this, not something greater?
No, absolutely, it is domestic politics. There's massive uproar within his own party, but also on the ground. We saw over 300,000 people marching the Harbour Bridge calling an end to this genocide.
Your response, PM?
Oh, look, there are people on both sides of this debate who want conflict to continue, who want to think that it's like a football game between, you know, South and the Broncos, and you got to back in your team and you got to back them in. What we need is a win-win. What we need is that the fact that this decision is criticised by people on all sides of the debate. I expected that to be the case. What this is about is a serious attempt to move forward. And I say this, that the people who are saying this is not the way forward need to put forward, okay, what's your plan?
Right. Look, PM,
and the plan of Prime Minister Netanyahu is just to continue to push into Gaza, occupy Gaza City. How will that provide a resolution going forward to ongoing conflict that has been there for 77 years?
And we'll keep going. PM, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to address the House for 5 minutes, revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection.
And still I rise, Mr. Speaker. And I rise today, Mr. Speaker, to speak truth to power, as well as speak truth about power. I rise to speak truth about what's happening to the Palestinians in Gaza. I rise to ask, what do you call it when you have a group of people who are being denied food, denied the very essence and necessities of life, when you're destroying their homes, when you're destroying their schools, when you're destroying their churches, their infrastructure? What do you call it when you do this to them as a group? Collective punishment. It is called collective punishment, Mr. Speaker. And what do you call it when you have a group of people who are being pushed around, pushed from one end of Gaza to the other, when they are literally being slaughtered as they are seeking food? What do you call it when people say that they ought to be removed from their land? You call it ethnic cleansing, Mr. Speaker. And what do you call it when it appears to me that there is a deliberate, systemic effort to destroy in whole or in part the Palestinian people, to destroy them in whole or in part? We are witnessing before our very eyes, Mr. Speaker, genocide in Gaza, and we say nothing. I am amazed at how this country that stands for liberty and justice for all, this country that has a Statue of Liberty, how this country can see what's happening in Gaza and not call it what it is. There's a fear among us. We refuse to speak truth to power. We refuse to speak truth about power. Well, today, I'm going to do it. And I'm doing it because these are precious babies that are being slaughtered. You see the bodies. You see the homes. You see the infrastructure. But you say nothing? Who are we? What is wrong with us? What is going on? Well, here's what's going on. We have an authoritarian leader who is supporting another authoritarian leader. Our president, the Prime Minister of Israel, they are working together, and they are doing this. Our president said there would be hell to pay if they did not move or if they did not surrender. Not in those exact words, but that was his intentionality. And he's talking about the people of Gaza now. I'm not talking about Hamas that did a dastardly deed. What Hamas did can never be justified. They were wrong, but you can't justify what's happening in Israel right now. It is collective punishment, it is ethnic cleansing, and it is genocide. So, Mr. President, Donald John Trump, I say to you, Mr. President, you've been trying to hide from this. But, Mr. President, you can't hide. I charge you with genocide. Mr. Netanyahu, you are the perpetrator. I charge you with genocide. And also, I want this Congress to know that I voted against sending any additional monies to Israel for munitions. I voted against it. And this genocide is going to continue until we have the courage to say no more. No more money to kill babies. No more money to say you're going to move people and create some sort of Riviera on the Mediterranean. No more. I will not vote for any more money. I stand where I stand. I said what I said, and I mean what I mean. We cannot, as a great nation, continue to stand silent as we see collective punishment, ethnic cleansing, and genocide in Gaza committed against people and children. We can't stand silent. History will not be kind to us.
The gentleman's time has expired. Members are reminded to refrain from engaging in personalities towards the president.
Republicans are split on how to address the ongoing atrocities that we're seeing out of Gaza every single day. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene took to X, writing in part, "It is the most truthful and easiest thing to say that October 7 in Israel was horrific and all hostages must be returned. But so is the genocide, humanitarian crisis, and starvation happening in Gaza." Genocide is a word that hasn't come up until recently. Most lawmakers have shied away from using it, and even still, some are rejecting it, like Senator Lindsey Graham, who also went as far to say that Congress shouldn't be doing more to provide relief for starving Palestinians.